This is a Prestige 2 in Brawl Stars and I want to get one, but they are way too easy to get, so I decided to give myself a challenge by locking myself to only playing one mode, which is Solo Showdown. But before I even start playing, I have to pick the brawler I'm going to get the Prestige 2 with, and I decided to pick Bull, because he is quite good right now, so I got to playing on Feast or Famine. The start was pretty tough and I had to get used to playing Bull, but after some time I started getting better and better and I was slowly climbing up the trophies. Soon after I got to 1100 trophies, but I wasn't planning on stopping and I kept grinding until I got to 1200 trophies. So far this push has been quite easy, but just wait because it's going to get much worse. But right now I wasn't worrying about later games and I was breezing through these lower lobbies and soon got to my last round for 1300 trophies, which I easily won. I also started using my gadget more, which is really good because it's pretty much a free kill. Really soon I got to my last game for a big milestone, which is 1500 trophies, and here is how it went. I started off by killing this AFK Edgar and collecting some cubes. Then I saw that a Sirius was really low, so I took him down too. Later I was able to take down the Daryl and a Cordelius, and soon it was just down to me and the Janet, and after she landed I won, getting me to 1500 trophies. The first half of the push was quite easy, but the second one was going to be a lot harder, but for now it was still okay, but I started noticing a problem, which was that more and more people started to team. This may not seem like a big problem at first, but just wait because this small problem was going to be the biggest one really soon. But even with all the teaming, I was still able to get some good games, which was helping me climb more and more trophies to soon get to 1600 trophies, which means that I'm almost done with 2/3 of the push. Around the 1700 trophy mark it really started getting bad, and if teaming wasn't enough, Sirius was starting to be a big problem too. I really hope that we get some emergency balance changes really soon and that this brawler isn't going to be this broken for a whole month or even longer. But even with teaming and Sirius, I couldn't stop if I already got so far, so I kept going and after some time reached 1800 trophies. Soon after the map changed was when things got really bad. Not only was the map way worse for Bull than the last one, but the mid seemed to be some sort of teamers' headquarters. Every game it would be me and maybe another player or two versus 5 to even 8 teamers, and it really felt like the old rank 35 lobbies. But even with all of these teamers, I was still able to get some first places, which felt a lot more rewarding than normal games. Of course, it was not all sunshine and rainbows, and sometimes games were getting so crazy to the point where in one game there would be 6 or even more teamers, and after being stuck around the 1880 trophy mark, I had to stop pushing for today and come back on day 2. When day 2 started, my games were going way better than the last day, and I really quickly got to 1900 trophies. For some reason, today teamers were backstabbing each other really often, and even in 1 vs 6 I was somehow able to get into top 3. Weirdly enough, sometimes I would get into much lower trophy lobbies, which meant I could get trophies much easier, and soon I got to my last game to 2000 trophies, and as most of you would expect, I had to fumble. Then, after a few attempts, I got into my real last game for 2000 trophies. The game started with someone trying to team up with me, but I just ignored him. Then a Cordelius and a Shelly started teaming up, and for some reason Cord decided to get into my bush, which secured me the kill. Next, I wanted to take down the Shelly, which would let me get a safe spot, but she had her super ready, so I didn't want to risk it all and just tried ignoring her for as long as I could. After the teamers started fighting each other, it got to just 5 people and all I needed was to get 4th place. So I decided to risk it all and go for the bow, which thankfully let me get my last win and finally get Prestige 2 on Bull by only playing Solo Showdown.